There is a truth that many people only realize after they have already bought a boat. The real cost doesn't lie in fuel, docking, or insurance, but in the rate of depreciation over time. There are boats that evaporate tens of thousands every year, which the owners almost never anticipate. And it's worth noting that while its value constantly decreases, many people are still making monthly installments. So, which are the boat models that make your money disappear the fastest? Let's start from the 7th position and work our way up to the top name. Top 7, Chaparral 300 OS SX. This is one of the boat models with an extremely high starting price, usually ranging from $280,000 to $300,000. But what surprises many is that after only about 18 to 24 months, many have already lost from $100,000 to $110,000 in value. That is equivalent to about $55,000 per year, a figure that makes even experienced owners think twice. What is worth mentioning is that the problem does not lie in quality, as this boat model is still highly rated for its design and finish. The main reason is that buyers in this segment have too many alternatives, especially models that hold their value better over time. When faced with two choices at similar prices, but one holds its value better, the decision is almost obvious. And when this happens on a large scale, the resale value of this boat model drops faster than initially predicted. Top 6, Yamaha 26 SD. This is a boat model that was extremely popular when it launched, with an initial price ranging from about $72,000 to $80,000. However, after only about 2 years, many have been resold at a price of nearly $50,000. This means the owner could lose from $20,000 to $28,000 in value, equivalent to about $10,000 to $14,000 per year. The main reason comes from the fact that the jet boat segment is shrinking rapidly, causing the number of new buyers to decrease significantly. As the market shrinks, demand for used boats also decreases, forcing sellers to lower prices if they want a quick transaction. At the same time, dealers are constantly slashing prices on new models to clear inventory, making used boats even harder to compete. When faced with the choice between a deeply discounted new model and an older model at a nearly equivalent price, most buyers will choose the safer option. And that is exactly why this boat model loses value so quickly. Top 5, Malibu Wakesetter 23 ASL SV. This is a boat model designed for a very specific purpose, with an initial price usually from $140,000 to $170,000. After a few years, many are only sold for $95,000 to $115,000, meaning a loss of $45,000 to $60,000 in value. However, the bigger problem lies in the trend of the entire segment, sales that have recently dropped significantly and continue to fall. At the same time, many new regulations are starting to restrict the use of this type of boat in some areas. Every time a regulation is applied, not only is usage restricted, but the number of people willing to buy it back also decreases. This puts great pressure on the resale value. When a boat loses value every month, many people only then realize how truly fast the depreciation rate is. Top 4, Four Winds HD 8. In this position is a boat model with a significantly higher initial price, usually in the range of $120,000 to over $130,000. But after about 2 years of use, many are only resold for $78,000 to $92,000. That means the owner could lose from $40,000 to $50,000, equivalent to about $20,000 per year. A major reason lies in the engine system that this boat model uses. As the market increasingly shifts toward technologies that are easier to maintain and more popular, older systems become less attractive. This forces sellers to compete with many other options that are better in the eyes of buyers. And when buyers have too many choices, they often demand a lower price to accept a used boat. So the question is whether the experience this boat model brings is enough to compensate for that rate of depreciation. Top 3, Mastercraft X Star. This is a boat model with an initial price usually ranging from $215,000 to $255,000 or higher if fully equipped. But after less than 2 years, many have been revalued at $140,000 to $165,000. That means the owner could lose from $60,000 to $90,000 in a very short time, equivalent to about $35,000 to $45,000 per year. This is a level of depreciation that makes even those with strong finances think carefully. When a boat is priced like a major asset but loses tens of thousands every year, the financial calculation becomes hard to accept. At the same time, the prices of new models continue to rise, making the gap between the purchase price and the resale price wider and wider when the market slows down. Expensive boats can sit waiting for a long time before finding a buyer, driving prices even lower. And this is exactly why this boat model is always in the group with the strongest depreciation. Top 2, Bennington QX Tri-Tune. This boat model, when fully equipped, usually ranges from about $110,000 to over $130,000. However, on the used boat market, many almost new ones are resold for only $72,000 to $90,000. That means the owner could lose from $38,000 to $50,000 in the first few years. But the surprise doesn't lie in the boat itself, but in the accompanying upgrades. During the purchase process, many people spend an additional $15,000 to $25,000 on amenities like heated seats, high-end sound systems, or expensive decorative details. However, when reselling, the market almost never values these upgrades separately. To a buyer, it's all just a boat. This makes most of that extra investment disappear almost instantly. And the question is whether those expensive upgrades truly bring long-term value. Top 1, Cray Lex 208D. Heading the list is a boat model once considered an icon at many major shows, with an initial price usually ranging from $175,000 to over $200,000. However, after about 3 years of use, many are only resold for $110,000 to $125,000. That means the owner could lose from $65,000 to $70,000, equivalent to over $20,000 per year. But what's worth mentioning is that this figure doesn't even include maintenance costs. The operating system of this boat model usually requires $4,000 to $5,000 per year for routine maintenance. When adding both depreciation and maintenance costs, the total actual cost in the early years can reach up to $80,000. This makes many people start to wonder if choosing a high-end model with a famous brand really helps hold its value, or if, in the end, the market only cares about operating costs and resale potential. This list shows one thing that many people only realize after they have already bought. The real cost doesn't lie in the visible expenses, but in the rate of depreciation over time. If you found this information useful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future analyses.